Well, thank you, Andrew. King of the jungle, that may be, but here's the true king, or maybe future king. But speaking of cubs, we've got a lovely little breeding herd of elephants. We've just had a couple of bulls further up the road, but with the roof on, they're not quite as comfortable with the vehicles. We had one basically come up and sniff the side of our sidings, which was... we've got a couple of little youngsters in this breeding herd just further down the road. This little one is delighting us with his antics. I say his, I haven't actually checked it. Is it a little girl? I think it's actually a little girl. Placing her feet very, very carefully. Yeah, so that's a very young one, and then we've got another slightly older one just across the road, but not much in it. This one's a young boy. He basically means sort of fiddling around with these sticks trying to get that trunk to function. Mum's in the road having a bit of a dust bath as well. I love the way they rest their trunk over their tusks. Those trunks are heavy, eh? A couple of 100 kilograms. Remember, muscle is very heavy, and that thing is just all muscle, the elongated top lip. But yeah, she just took a big, I wouldn't say mouthful of sand, but grabbed a whole bunch of sand in her fingertips. You see now she's throwing it under her belly, up onto the sides, but she did one earlier where she just tossed it right over the top of her head. You can still see some of the remnants there on her forehead. But not a huge female, but quite an old female. I would very much assume this is the matriarch of the group. You can see again those temples, look how sunken they are. It's a good sign of age. Oh, look, look, look. I think she's tried to reach the mammary glands for a drink and struggling. Trying to climb up Mum's leg. Go on, buddy. Oh. I don't think we've quite got the strength on our back legs. Oh, look, he's trying to lift himself up, or herself. I think we've just made contact. It was right behind the leg. No, did we give up? How cute. Oh, it's just so much fun. I wish I could I want my own baby elephant, but I want a baby elephant that never grows up. I think I wouldn't do anything all day. I'd just sit there and watch it and laugh. Oh, wrong side, buddy. Yes, Philip, absolutely they will. As they get older, those two little depressions get deeper and deeper. So whilst it's very difficult to say, it's, I don't know, 1 inch deep, therefore this elephant is X years old, it's a good sign of age. An older elephant will always have those sunken temples as opposed to not. Oh, we're going to get another little bit of a splish of mud. There we go. See where she's using her foot to dig out the mud. But you can see this one is not as old. So her temples are not as depressed, if we can say that. I'll show you covering your baby in mud as well. So the one behind is much older. You can just see it's an older elephant as well. It's difficult to sort of explain, but look at the little ones down in there also trying to play along. I'm going to learn, I'm going to learn. So to some extent you just... Oh, she's blown that right into her eye. That's a bit strange. To some extent you can just sort of tell by looking at the elephant and the skin. Oh, come on, reach, reach, reach. Sorry, I'm getting very distracted for the question, but this is just too cute. And actually she's touching it with the mouth. What an intimate moment. I don't think you can quite reach that front mammary gland. You see the... Oop. Mum's just throwing mud in its face. Sweet. So you can see they're digging up. We've seen a lot of this lately. A lot of evidence of where they've been using their feet to dig up this mud and just throwing it on themselves, just all in control of parasites and things. But this is how the young ones learn. They're going to try and do the same thing. See, we're digging again. Puts it in the sort of crook of her trunk there, or in between those two fingers at the end of the trunk. and then throws it wherever she needs. A lot of the time behind the ears, onto the belly, onto the back itself. There are lots of reasons as to why, but it probably is also just kind of fun and it feels nice. Oh, this little one's going to try again. Yeah, stand on mum's foot. There we go. That's clever. Good. Oh. I think she might have got it. I can't quite see, but you can see sort of the cheek muscles moving there. I think a bit of suction. Oh, this is just adorable. It's quite interesting to have one massive male elephant who was literally pretty much stood up against my front bumper a minute ago. And then 300 meters down the road, we get this little bundle of cuteness.
Arch Dental Center.